All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer, Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and Homelander down here because we are talking about The Boys season 4. We're talking about the first 4 episodes. So the first 3 came out last week, in the big premiere, and then episode 4 was the single episode that started this week. So we're gonna be all over the place. We're probably not gonna go in chronological order like this. So we'll probably mush everything that happened so far and kind of like talk about what we like, dislike, any theories, any funny stuff, gross stuff. Because damn, there's some gross stuff.
That's The Boys. That's just what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get into all of that. So if you haven't seen all 4 episodes or don't care about spoilers, stick around. But if you haven't seen it or you're worried about stuff like that, hit that pause button, put us on mute, and then come back and join the conversation. But I'll start with Brandman. What you think about the show so far or the season?
Oh, it's awesome. I love how each season they kind of feel like they've upped things to the next level. I think I have in this case too. I'm loving the character of the new character Sage, especially. How she's just coming in and trying to basically turn everyone against each other. So I'm wondering what her end goal is. I like that. It's just as exploitative and heavy-handed as ever, and that's one of the things that I love about this show. If you don't like it, too bad. To anyone who doesn't like it, it wears that on its shoulder, which I really appreciate. I like how they're doing redemptive arcs for certain characters, especially like in the case of A-Train.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can comfortably categorize the Deep as being on a redemption. Yeah, because he's just all over the place. But I love kind of where they go with him. Anthony Starr, holy shit! Like it feels like he steps his game up with every season. Like he needs an Emmy. He's just so scary as Homelander too. I'd legitimately be scary to be in the same room as him. That's how like effective he is.
Those faces he makes with
his faces he makes.
And he'll like stick, and like he's sticking his tongue through his like bottom lip and stuff like that, and there's just this look, man. He has that. Even in this picture right here, he just has this look like I'm gonna kill you. Like so good at it, Yeah, but he doesn't have it in the interviews. In the interviews, he's like super like chill and like sometimes he's like zoned out, which is funny. But like when he puts that suit on, like he's just a maniac.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good in the role.
Agreed. Yeah. What
else? I think that's all on my end. What else? Yeah, that's mostly it so far.
Okay. What about you, Brian? What you like about it so far? What you think about it?
I like it so far. I think it's a good thing. It's a reflection of what we have today. It's always a reflection of the worst parts of what's going on, and it shows. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Sage wanted the Deep to go. But it shows a reflection of the things that we see that people don't see themselves seeing that what they're doing, and how crazy politically. Because I mean, this is probably the most political it's been. They've always been political with a lot of their stuff, but this is the one that's actually showing politics. And why is that interesting now? Because 2024 is the election year, so they're literally doing things showing how people do these politics and how outsiders kind of shape the politics and how they're playing their games with it, along with creating new characters and giving the old characters like good storylines. I don't know if they're redemptive, but more just letting you know the good people aren't all good. The bad people aren't all bad. And Homelander's just an asshole. Like it's showing, the entire rainbow, the entire everything of each character. And I appreciate that because as we are humans, we are not all good or bad. We are somewhere in the middle. And I think they show that with even these superheroes, no matter what, as far as they want to be away from being human, they are still human, and they still have those same characteristics of it. And I enjoy it. Even the shock value. Sometimes it's hard for me to watch because I am one. As I said, I watch things and it's too much. I'll pause it and walk away. That's just me. But I still enjoy what they're doing. I enjoy what they're doing with Kamiko, with Mother's Milk. I think A-Train is really interesting, but I do believe he's going to be dead soon. No question. Victoria Newman is crazy.
She is something else.
Yeah, it's just so much going on. I just enjoy it. I enjoy Ryan. I'm enjoying all of them. Frenchie going through what he's going through. So
yeah. Like one thing I see a lot is like, oh, this show sucks because it doesn't follow the comic. I was like, if after season 1 you didn't realize like this is not following the comic, that it is
exactly
kind of making its own story and stuff like that. Like I felt like the first couple seasons were very much a parody of like superheroes, like it was superhero like movies and stuff like that, like now I think it's like like this is its own show now. Like the parody
is real life.
And now it's parodying real life, and it's like even more scary, than seeing if like, oh, what if Superman was like a crazy, nut job, but now it's like, well, what if the crazy nut job is the one who wants to like run the country? So I think that's like even more scary, but like I like Ryan. I don't think Ryan or any version of Ryan is in the comic books. Like Homelander doesn't have a son.
I don't remember him in the comics.
Remember that either. So and it works for the show way more than what they did with Homelander and Black Noir in the comics. So
the way they're doing it with the direction they're going with Black Noir is absolutely hilarious to me.
It's so much better. Like I thought there was gonna be like a big thing, and they just keep sprinkling him in here. Like, oh yeah, he's just an actor now, and he doesn't do what the character's supposed to do. Just like shut up, and he keeps talking, and it's funny. Like it just fits the goofiness of the show, without being too much because it makes sense in the story too. So but just Homelander going through his issues I thought is really good, because so far like the two main characters, Homelander and Butcher, are both kind of dealing with their mortality, you know what I mean, like
definitely.
And
I'm listening.
Go ahead. They're both like mirror images of each other, but like I want to say they're one's good and one's evil because they're both like super messed up, like, but definitely bring back definitely Homelander's way more evil than Butcher,
Oh man, he is out there.
Yeah, but like just everything they want is just
like episode 4. Let's go home.
Oh man. So yeah, but I'm digging it a lot so far, man. I watched the first 2 episodes first, and then I didn't get a chance to watch the last 2 until like a few days later, or actually until yesterday, I think. And Sage is probably my new favorite character out of the new ones because she's actually like interesting. Like Firecracker is funny because it's a goofball, and she's just like a one-trick pony to kind of mess with Starlight. Where Sage, I'm like, she's got a plan. And I'm really curious to see what that plan is, because I don't know if the plan is to help Homelander out. I think
she has her own agenda. I don't know if she has a plan, because I think her plan is changing a lot, but she has her own agenda. That's why she said Firecracker, because she really wanted Firecracker to get ass whooped. She knew it was going to go towards that, and say, "Oh, I'm going to sacrifice this on."
Sacrifice. Yep.
And now look, it also helps Homelander, so it keeps her off his radar. But she has a plan still to just undo everything.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see where she. But I remember like telling Brian when I first saw the first 2 episodes, I feel like she's like the smart guy from the Watchmen. Like I forgot what his name was.
Ozymandias or
Ozymandias or something.
Dr. Manhattan.
No, the smart guy.
Ozymandias.
Yeah. And then I watched episode 3 and 4. I was like, oh yeah, no, never mind. Never mind.
The newer one.
Yeah, the last couple episodes when find out like she likes to get like that whole part. I'm like, why is she acting dumb? You know, and then it zoomed out and you saw like the lobotomy, stick kind of thing. I was like, I'm like, oh, did Homelander like do that to her? But then the next scene, she's like Smarty. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And I thought that was like a great thing because like you end that scene with that, and you're like 100 things pop in your head, and then you're already onto something else, And what this show does better than a lot of the other shows that are out right now, or one of the best at least, is kind of what Brian said. Like you're able to have your main story and then your side stories, and they complement each other so well, and neither one are boring. They both are a lot of fun and very interesting. Like I'm interested in everyone's side story, that equals the big story. So yeah, but I'm definitely digging it like a lot. I just hate seeing the stupid hate for the show. Like on Facebook, I saw in a group that somebody said when Sage said, "I'm a black woman and I'm 100 times smarter than you." He's like, "Oh, I was done with the show at that moment." I was like, "But it makes sense."
Why? Why
Because
would you? I mean, she's a character. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, she didn't say that. I mean, because the whole part of that scene was like Homelander is like, "Oh, you don't want to become the Seven?" She's like, "No," and she's like, "Well, why?" And she explained why. Like her being a black woman is a big deal for Homelander, and also I'm smarter than you. I mean, those are like, who the hell wants to be in that position with Homelander? So it's like, yeah, it's not like she was bragging. She was like saying like,
Her
no,
power is to be the smartest person in the world. That's
yeah,
her literal power.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
she's not bulletproof. She's not super strong. She just has a brain that continues to grow forever.
yeah, which is crazy. But and I saw that, I'm like, that's the part that you like. Did you even watch the scene? Because like it makes sense in the scene, of it, and then it gets a lot of other hate, with like, oh, the funniest thing is like, oh, the show is really political. It wasn't this political last year. I was like, yeah,
what?
Yeah,
well, it wasn't on its face political, but it was still dealing with all the political things that we always talk about. Always have right, left, far left, and far right politics in it. That's always it. Now it's based upon an election.
Yeah. Well, now it's just taking like real life events and like, oh yeah, like, South Park does it. South Park did it, and I'm kind of curious to see what South Park does this year. But that's a whole nother conversation. But when satirical shows or parody, and this is kind of, I don't know if it's satirical, but it's definitely like taking things to the max. It's taking the superhero suit to the max. It's taking like real world kind of like ideology to the max. And when you're able to intertwine like things going on in the real world, like it's kind of, it should be funny because it's so crazy that this actually happened. That you're like, oh my god,
it should make you look at yourself and realize, wow, I'm as crazy. My beliefs are just as crazy. And for me to believe this, and this is the way I want to vote because of this, maybe that's not the right thing to be doing.
Yeah. And I think even the writer, I believe, of the show said he was getting upset that so many people were siding with Homelander. Like, no, Homelander's not the good guy. He's not he's not the guy you should be cheering on. And he was getting upset. So I don't know if that's why he leaned so far into like real world stuff this season, but yeah. Were you gonna say something, Brandman?
No, I was just kind of in agreement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, but that's the part that I kind of like is weird for me. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. It's like like you're more upset about Frenchie being gay than you are about an octopus oral sex to a human.
You know who voiced the octopus, right?
And then going
wait, who
that was Tilda Swinton.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That does not sound like. I got to go back and listen to it. It doesn't sound like her.
Well, she was going to take him home, and she said, we could go out to the reef. I got a couple of family out there. Go out to the reef and do stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like funny. Like, that's what you get upset about, not bestiality. I mean, I do agree. It was kind of like out of nowhere and sudden.
It wasn't though, because they talked about it before that Frenchie kind of was very open.
Yeah,
our first introduction to Frenchie was that.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, I mean, but also it's like for me, it's like he's a person. They even say it in the show that he's attracted to like broken people. And I think that's what attracts him to is like a normal person would stay far, far away from that person, whether it be male, female, just like whatever you did in that situation. Why do you pull yourself even closer? But he's messed up in the head because all the boys are messed up in the head, in one way or another. So, it's to me, it reminded me of more like it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. It's more of like he likes the situation being so fucked up kind of thing. Like that's what he's drawn to. So it's like very, toxic relationship, kind of stuff. So that's what I got more from it than like, oh, he's gay now. I was like, nah, I think he's so fucked up in the head that he wants to be around somebody who can give him the most amount of trauma. So, and that's not his last relationships were too. Everyone he's been around has just been, romantically, it's just been, like really messed up. So.
What do you think about him and Kimiko staying away from each other and not exploring that?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it for now.
Yeah, I think they didn't. I was always like on the fence. I was like, if they do, it's okay. If they don't, it's okay too. It was like, I never got like the thing. I'm like, oh man, maybe at first, like he wanted to kind of get with her, but then again, that's what attracted him to broken people. He saw a broken person. He's like, oh, let me help you or let me be close to you. So, I can feel some of your brokenness, but instead Kimiko was getting better as a person, becoming more human again and becoming more.
No, but they both said they love each other. They're attracted to each other and they both love each other, but they're not entertaining that. And they never really talked about why, dive in why. I don't think, because she's still broken, he's still broken. So I don't think that's a problem. Still with that, I think they're just doing it because they feel it'll affect the team. I think they said that in season 3 that if they did something, this would affect the team. That's why they're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And then I want to point out for Frenchie, I think it was season 1. He was talking about his best friend, and we recommended trans strippers, and he was like, he was fine because he's like, don't be closed minded, when he was talking about the tentacle dick guy, whatever. So I feel like it was always there. Like people are choosing not to see it, but Frenchie being bisexual was always there, or pan, or just open to whatever. That's what Frenchie's just open to whatever.
Yeah,
because you didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't exist.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I didn't care. I was like, we got bestiality going on, we got pedophilia going on, and we're worried about a dude falling in love with another dude. Like, and that's kind of like the point of like at the end of season or episode 4 too, right? I was like she is like, oh, I dated or I did stuff with like a 15-year-old. But she had an abortion. It was like you're fighting against the people that you were calling pedophiles, and they have like all these like pedophile things. And so I was like,
yep.
What? So you're like,
and everyone was like, oh, she did. Oh, that's messed up. Oh, she did have an abortion. That's the worst thing ever. How dare you? It's okay to have sex with a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. It was like you're out here like saying like, oh, they have pedophiles and kids locked up, and meanwhile she is a pedophile. And then she's like, oh, but I asked for forgiveness, but yet she does worse things because she did this, and
she was already a Christian, so that means she's worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this the I don't know, the blasphemy or whatever the hell you want to call it. It was just like it was crazy, But yeah, that's why I like this season so much. That it's really has so many different things, And I think I was watching you guys earlier on Big Ford Entertainment with the firecracker thing. Her name is Firecracker.
Cracker.
So,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
That's
pick
exactly
that
what I
up.
said. I was like, that was the point. Her name is Fire Cracker.
I didn't even think
That's-
about that. I didn't even think about that until you guys were talking about that. I'm like, that's funny. That's funny.
Multiple levels, guys. Multiple levels.
Same with Sister Sage, and she even admits it. She goes, it has to be some racist identifier. I think she said something like that. So so yeah, so Sister Sage says that, and then a few scenes later we get Firecracker. So,
but then she even said, "Oh, what did she say? She said, that's what you get for calling me." Was that what did she call her? Like melodramatic or whatever she called her. And then she's like, you, and she called her a cracker right then too. I was like, oh wow, okay, that's kind of crazy. Yeah,
yeah. He said that's why I believe Firecracker had that gangbang at 13 with those judges. She's broken. Oh, you think? Oh, so it's not a rumor. So you're saying because right now,
what if it's the truth?
what if it's true? That's messed up.
Be crazy if it was.
Yeah.
1 second.
And that's what got her onto the whole 15-year-old boy because
Mm.
she was going through that, no matter what, that statutory rape. I know they don't like the R word, but yeah, that's what that is.
That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. Yeah, because right now it's just a rumor that Starlight made up, so she can like drag her through the mud. But what if it's true? Man, that'd be interesting. But at this point, I don't think it matters because she ain't got no face anymore. So
Starlight went ham. Starlight went ham. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
Yeah. That
Ran
was
that fade.
Man, that was intense. That was intense. But it was just you really felt bad for Starlight in that whole scene where she's just sitting there and it's like, oh, she blinded people and now she did this and now she did this and now she did this. Oh, here's her private records, which everyone wants to bitch about HIPAA and shit like that. It was like, here's the actual record from the doctor.
Yeah, that was a big line cross. That was a big no. Well, she found out, so
Yeah. And I believe that happened. Well, not that way, but I believe she has an abortion in the comic too. I believe.
And the way they explained it was like Huey already knew what happened, and that's how it looked like, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's like all that. Anything else that might have like bugged you guys?
It's Huey. Huey's really this whole thing storyline with him and his father and his mother.
His mother.
And her mother and his mother saying like, "Oh yeah, this is why I stayed away from you, and this is why I did all this stuff." And I was like, "But you're like 28 years old, bro. Like you didn't realize that she could have came back at any point in time after you turned 18 and been in your life, and she still didn't. So there's a lot there still to really be, to dive into. And for him to even call her mom after that was crazy. Something is going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was put there to watch after him or to watch after be the mole almost.
I can see that because she had all that Vought, like
she works for Vought, right?
And oils and stuff like that. But she
she
was like
works
an
for Vought.
Avon salesperson, but for like Vought. So that's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
I think that's just like her undercover thing, but she's actually there to kind of keep taps on everything.
Yeah. Okay. So Tony brought this up. How did his mom know he had the compound V in his pocket?
Yep.
So the end of the episode, big spoiler, he gets the compound V, and I don't think he used it, right? They don't show him using it on his father, right?
Not yet.
But he had the blue stuff in his IV. So who gave him the compound V? That's my question. Was it the mom? Was it Huey? Was it somebody else?
Yeah, I don't think it's the mom. and obviously not Huey for obvious reasons. I'm not sure. I have to think entirely on that one.
Yeah. 21% from last season. That's awesome. So yeah, because I'm watching it and I'm like, is that actual, like, is it in his IV? Like, oh shit, I'm like, how did it get there? Because then the mom looks and she's like, oh my god, like she kind of knew what it was, you know,
Yeah.
kind of. So I was like, what happened? What happened? And I don't know. I do agree with Tony. I don't trust the mom. I think she's hiding something. Yeah. But yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see where that goes and how that gets answered.
Her story doesn't make sense. If she wanted to be around, she could have been around for the last 10 years of his life.
Yeah.
Something doesn't add up, and I want to see what happens where his father wakes up. And what if he has no idea that she's there, and she just came? And he's like, "Oh, you're how are you here? Where'd you come from?" And he find out all the stuff that Huey thought he was listening to was a lie. That entire story is a lie.
Yeah. That would be curious. I don't know. Anything else, Brandman? You got anything that like irked you?
That irked me?
Yeah, someone just like questions. You're like, that doesn't make sense, or
no, everything was pretty cut and dry. They do need to evolve. I kind of agree with what Brian said. They need to evolve the character of Huey. He just complains a lot. That's the full extent of his character. That's what they need to do differently.
Bring it in. Yeah, so Tony's saying the mom, because his jacket was on the chair, and when he came back, it was lying on the end of the bed.
That's interesting.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I would have to go back and check that out. That's interesting. Because then, like you said, how did she know what it even is? It's just a vial of blue liquid, like no labels, no nothing. So, yeah.
And then she got arrested.
But, over under 3 more episodes of having A Train.
I've been warming up to him the last several seasons as a character.
Exactly why I think he's gonna be dead.
Yep. the good guys never live in this show. Like, and I think he's becoming a good guy. He's becoming at least a guy that has a conscience, you know, and starting to question like what is he doing, you know. He's gonna die. Like I believe
what
that
I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I think he's gonna die. I don't know when.
Yeah,
they keep him until next season, because next season is the last season. They already announced it.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they do kill him this season, it'll be right at the end. You know, like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
If they do.
I think they're going to use him and Ashley to try to get to Homelander, and he kills A Train, and Ashley somehow gets out alive.
The one that I want to die lives.
Somehow she lives.
Yeah. The best part is like she actually like left a turd in his toilet. Like so petty. Oh man, this is like the pettiness from everyone in this season so far is so good. Yeah, I believe his mom is playing a role. I
think so too.
What if that's not even his mom?
Yep.
What if that's just like a shapeshifter or something like that? And we already saw shapeshifters from Gen V, so they're in the universe.
Yep, could be.
You know, because that was a very generic answer she gave him. You know, there was no details at all in that answer. You know, and that's something I didn't even think about until like right now. It was like
that's why if he wakes up, your hope is that he wakes up with no memory and then she can stay around. But if she wakes up and he finds out that his dad always knew that his mother was actually a mutant superhero, you know, that's why she ran. And then the whole time she's been sitting here as a spy for Vault.
Mm,
Mhm.
that'd be interesting. We got Jason in the chat. What's up, Jason?
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah. So we'll finish off with the big Homelander, kind of his whole arc going on so far. You know, he's got court trial
Dude.
going on. He's starting to question his own morality or mortality.
Schizophrenic.
No, he's got no
Yeah.
mortality.
Mhm.
The nightmares, everything's going on with Ryan. The ending
He's
when he goes back
schizophrenic.
home. You know, yeah. What do you guys think about this Homelander so far in the season?
It's interesting to see, you know, how they're attempting to have us kind of like garner a little bit of sympathy for him, who's just been, for a character, mind you, who's been an absolute scumbag ever since we met him.
Yeah, day one.
So I'm curious to see where they go with that. If I'm going to legitimately end up feeling sorry for Homelander, I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, he's an absolute scumbag. But holy crap, Anthony Starr is so good. Like I was getting kind of shook at the beginning of today's episode when he showed up to that in that lab.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gives that off so well. It's insane.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
win an
think
award for being the most petty person ever.
Yeah. Well, there's that whole scene where Sage tells him like, "Oh," he asks you, he's like, "Oh, am I that petty?" And she goes, "Yeah." You know, and then they're interrogating the friend, and then she's like, she admits like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," and then he like zaps her, and she's like, "Hey,
one more, can you give me one more word?
One more
that
word,
might have been an important one."
But then he looks at her and is like, "Oh, maybe I am that petty." So it's kind of like, "Hey, don't mess with me." You know, that's why I took it as like it was like a message to Sage, like, "Oh, I am that petty." You know.
Oh well, you already knew he was that petty because he made her part of the 7 when she didn't want to be part of the 7.
Yeah.
And they made her put on the whole outfit, even though she didn't want to be doing any of that.
She said it right off the bat. I don't want to do that, and he's like, "You're gonna do it." What do you think about so when he goes back home, quote unquote? What about that scene?
Is his Hansel and Gretel moment and let him put him in the oven? That was messed up.
The naughty room or the bad room?
I mean, it just shows how broken he was. But I think what she said was very important. We got the best psychologist ever to make you reliant on us, and that is no matter what, you have layers and layers of layers that you have to be relying on us. You always be looking for approval. Doesn't matter who it is, you're going to always be looking for approval. So how can you ever be a leader or something if that's what you're looking for? You know, and he's aging, so he's aging along with that, looking for someone for approval, but he doesn't have that parent, that mother or father figure anymore. He's looking for it, and he has to be a father figure for himself. That's the mind fuck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's not a good parent. You know, telling Ryan is like, we have to tell us everything until we become one person. I was like, oh, that's horrible. But yeah. What are you, Brand Man? Especially like the ending scene. But what do you think about just Homelander?
Oh, he's a piece of work. To say the absolute least. Dude is just straight up ruthless. And I think on one hand, I enjoy watching him. At the same time, I'm like rooting for the boys to just manage to take him down. Very, very much a character you love to hate.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that after what Tony said, that maybe A-Train is talking so much or saying stuff, and he kills Black Noir to give a message to A-Train, and that way A-Train actually does live?
They kill Black Noir again. Another one.
The new Black Noir is so try hard.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm good on my end with that.
Yeah. I said also, what do you think about Black Noir? Yeah, he's
a phony.
Yeah, he's definitely a phony, but it fits, it fits that like that actor kind of thing. Because what's my motivation? And he's like, you're a psychopath and you're quiet. It's like, bro, it's not that hard. Shut up.
Yeah, for real.
So yeah. But I can see him. I see him getting killed again. James said, speaking of redemption, how do you guys feel about the A Train so far? So we already talked about it, about the A Train. We'll see. We'll see how long he lives. Yeah. Do you guys think the Gen V cast will make another cameo? They made a quick little.
Yeah, at the end of Gen V. It could be. They may make narrative sense.
Probably bring a couple of them in.
Yeah, like they already brought up like Godolkin the school a couple times already. So yeah, I like how they're doing it, but it doesn't feel like it's forced. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense in the story. But yeah, we might see them a little bit to set up the next season of Gen V, but I don't think anything too crazy. But yeah, man. Yeah, real quick for me, it's like when he made the dude like masturbate in front of everybody.
Oh God!
And they said, "You better get hard. You better get hard." So, I just can't. Oh, it's okay, guy. It's okay, buddy. And he still lasered him.
Oh, yeah.
Lasered off his dick. Like, oh my God.
And it's just not like he didn't laser it off. He made a hole through the body. Oh man. Yeah, it was. And then he goes and walks over there. He goes, "Oh, you're getting your dick bled on my shoes." I laughed a little bit. Yeah. But there's some parts where I was like, "Oh," like that surprised me. And there's some parts that were like kind of funny, and some very dirty parts. Yeah, it was. It's the boys. Like the boys are back, like legit. So, yeah, like. I love the name Black Noir. It's like saying chai tea. Dude's name is Black Noir. That's funny. I never thought about that. Yeah, but he said that's what I'm feeling about A Train, that I don't think he'll show up on season 5.
Yeah,
I hope he does, but I can see it. I can see it happening at the end of the season. But yeah, I don't know if you guys got anything else.
Nope, that's all we get.
Yeah, so super fun show. Was it Horror Geek came in? It's 21% grew from last season. So people are still digging it. They're really enjoying it, and I see a lot of memes, a lot of jokes. I see people making fun of the people that are taking offense to the show. So it is definitely back in like the world, the real world, where people are like talking about it, and for a show like this, it's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you like, I think, kind of think and question. And I know it seems stupid because it's just a TV show about evil superheroes, but
to question everything. Don't take anything that anyone is saying as fact until you see it yourself.
Yeah. How much like things are faked, to make you think a certain way. That too I thought was like interesting. So yeah, there's things we didn't touch on as much, like Ryan and stuff like that. But leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about any of that stuff. Anything you thought you liked or we might have missed, let us know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Come and join us every Thursday when we talk about The Boys, and also every Monday we talk about movies, TV, other TV shows, and some comics and all the other fun stuff. So appreciate all you guys in the replay gang. Thank you guys so much. But if you were watching live, stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic.